Hello everyone, and welcome to another card video. Today we're playing with Lawn Fawn's Scalloped box card pop-up die, and it has a lot of little dies that come in this set. And this is how I normally, or everyone, how they normally take care of these. They use the clippers to pinch the little connectors apart. I also have this Stampin' storage trash can that I used to use before I got my new trash can. But now I've found the ultimate Tim Allen way to take care of these dies. So I broke out my husband's Dremel and I've put a tip on it that cuts these little metal nibs off of your dies. Now you have to wear safety glasses, and it's not hot. Those sparks that are coming off of it aren't really hot, but you do have to wear safety goggles. So I'm just taking care of those little nibs that sometimes don't get cut close enough and that leave marks in your paper. And so I'm just taking them off with this tool. This tool is moving really fast, so it doesn't really show that on camera, but it is. And I can get into those little tiny areas on this die. It's really neat, and I took care of this whole thing in like so much less time and so much less effort because of using this Dremel. If you guys want a video of how to use this Dremel, I would be happy to do it. Just leave a comment down below if anyone is interested in this actual use of there's probably several uses that I could come up with. Anyway, so we're going to use the fox and the skunk image from Into the Woods, one of my favorite Lawn Fawn stamp sets, and we're going to do some selective inking here. We're using the Memento Tuxedo Black Dewdrop to ink up the bottom half of this fox, but I don't want his face. I was truly inspired by one of the design team members on Lawn Fawn, and I can't really pronounce her name, but I think it's Anya. I'll leave her link on my blog post. So if you're interested in seeing my inspiration for this, please go there and check it out. She is awesome. So I'm just using my Memento Tuxedo Black marker to ink the outline, not his face, because I want these critters to be facing away from the front or away from the card. You'll see what I'm talking about when I'm done. So I've also have this micro brush that I use at work all the time, but it also is really great at cleaning up little tiny spots. So I've really enjoyed bringing some of my work home these days. But anyway, so we've just inked up the outline portion of this fox, and as you can see when I lift it up, he has no face. So we're also going to stamp him on some Avery repositionable label sheet, and because I want to mask him, I'm going to put the skunk right next to him. So we're cutting out this mask. It really only matters to cut out the one side that the skunk is actually going to be touching. So you really don't have to fuss with cutting out this whole fox unless you want to for another project. So I'm placing the mask. I've stamped on 110, Neenah 110, so that's what I'm using. Now we have the skunk all lined up, and we're inking up the bottom with the dewdrop because it's easier, and then we're going to also just use the marker to go around the outline of his face because I don't want his face. I want them to be facing away from me. It's really quite simple. I know you can't see it really well on video, but when you're doing it in person, maybe even putting a white piece of paper behind you while you're doing this will help you see those lines a little bit easier. So now we're stamping the skunk, and when you remove the masking paper, it looks like they're sitting close to each other looking away from you. So I also want to use this little heart in a speech bubble. So I'm stamping it with Altenew Coral Berry ink. It's a really pretty coral coral berry color. So here's my dies all cut apart perfectly, and I'm cutting two, and 2 of the big portions and 3 of the inside pieces. If you want to see exactly how this box card is put together, Fawn actually has produced an exceptional video teaching you all about it. So go to their YouTube channel and find the box card video that they've produced, and it is excellent, and it will teach you exactly how to do it if you haven't seen it already a million times. So I'm using this Darice Woodgrain embossing folder on some Stampin' Up! Night of Navy cardstock, and I'm cutting out the pieces that are going to go as an accent on my box card. All of these dies come in the same set. It's really an exceptional, innovative die set that they've produced. So I'm using Scor Tape to put on the back of these pieces. One, they are embossed and I want them to stay put. So I'm using some really nice and sticky Scor Tape to put them on. It's really easy to see where each square / rectangle goes on your box card once you're putting it together. So don't worry about that last one, we'll get to it. So I've cut a piece of acetate because I want my my stuff to stick up out of the box card, but I need some little acetate holders to keep them up. So I'm just cutting and trimming those. Glue dots. This came in my welcome package for Creativation, and so I'm trying them out. These are the super sticky ones that I got, and boy are they really super sticky. So like, be careful. I had stuff stuck to my fingernails, stuck to my box, stuck everywhere. So they are truly super sticky. I'm using them to pop up my images on my box card. So 1 glue dot for the top and 1 glue dot for the bottom. And I'm using 2 pieces of acetate on the fox and skunk image, but I only use 1 for the others. So 1 glue dot at the top to hold your image, and then 1 at the bottom to hold the image onto the insert for the box card. So now I wanted a heart frame, a scalloped heart frame that I do not own currently. So I went to my Scan and Cut. This is Canvas Workshop, and I'm playing around trying to decide what type of scalloped heart I want to cut out. And I know it needs to be under 3 inches, and that's the width of the box card. So I'm playing around trying to decide what basic shapes that are already provided for you in the Canvas Workshop that I want to arrange on my cutting mat to cut out. I finally went with a scallop on the outside and a regular heart on the inside. You can even draw your own basic shapes. This program is really great actually for that. I'm no expert. I'm just showing you what I did. So once you have it worked out, you select all of your image and then you right click and make it one image so you can move it around. So I know where I typically put my paper on the mat, and then I'm arranging 2 of them just in case. I'm downloading, and usually you can download and send it right to your Scan and Cut, but mine's not working, so I'm going to download it to my computer. Okay, so I don't want to take my DSLR off of the thing just to film this. So so you take your USB drive that you've saved on your computer and you bring it over here to your Scan and Cut. Typically, I have the card, the activation card that you can purchase so that your computer talks to the Scan and Cut, but I don't know if there's something that I am doing wrong or with the Wi-Fi or with my computer or what, but it's not connecting for me. So that's why I have to use my handy dandy Listerine. Here, I'll show you. My Listerine USB drive, dental assistant life, right? So once it's in there, you can pattern, okay? And then you go to saved data, USB, and then the pattern that we created is right there. Okay. So we're gonna load it up. So my mat is old and not sticky anymore, so I have to like tape down my paper and then fingers crossed that it freaking loads. Okay, so load. So we're all loaded up and we're gonna say okay. Okay. Cut. Start. See how dirty the mat is. Isn't it gross? It's really gross. Put it out for us, and so far so good. Let me take it off of the thing and figure out how it turned out. It's not too bad. It's just my own little heart frame thingy that I wanted. So now that I have mine all cut out, I'm going to add an adhesive holder, add a glue dot so that I can put it on there and it's going to fit inside when it closes up. I wanted to make the heart so that you're looking through and seeing the images through the heart. So that's what I did. I also cut some Grassy borders from their Grassy Borders die in, I think this is Stampin' Up! Pear Pizzazz that I cut them. And I also adhered my little speech bubble to an acetate sheet and arranged it in the center of my heart. So now I'm white heat embossing with Hero Arts Ultrafine White Embossing Powder on the Night of Navy cardstock. I've been, if I can talk, I've been double stamping my heat embossing, and it's really working out well for me. But the Misty is excellent for that. So just a quick tip, if you're heat embossing, maybe try double stamping in your Misty to get it really nice and sticky. I also have my heat tool heating up on the side there on actually a kitchen trivet. So I'm just cutting out from the piece that is supposed to go on that one front flap, and it is not embossed with the wood grain. It has Scor Tape on the back of it so that it stays nice. I'm also adding a tiny heart from these Doodlebug shaped sprinkles. I thought they were absolutely adorable, so I'm adding one of the corally red colors to match my speech bubble. And now we're going to create a sunset for my images to be gazing into the sunset. So this is my interpretation of a sunset. I used Distress Oxide on Bristol Smooth White cardstock. I'm using Wild Honey, Abandoned Coral, Faded Jeans, and I actually do add some black soot at the very end. So I keep towels and things like that close at hand so that I don't get finger smudges in my ink blending. Now you can also tell that adding the blue and the yellow made that green, but I'm going to cut out from the center, and I pre-planned for that. So don't worry about the edges and how green they are, even though that would kind of like fit in with the grass motif. It's all what you want to create, and that's the fun of it, right? So I'm just cutting out the square that is intended for that spot on the Scalloped box card pop-up die, and I've adhered it with Scor Tape. If you guys could try to follow me on Instagram, you get even more love from me, and that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the card. If you have any questions, leave them down below. And coming up next is some cute footage of my son. So I recently bought a super huge, awesome new trash can for my craft room. And it came in a really awesome, super huge box. So check this out. What you doing?
Watching videos.
What else do you have in there?
Dog.
Your dog?
Yeah. And my sheep.
What's your dog's name?
His name is Booger.
Booger?
Yeah. So this is his blanket.
Oh, okay.
That's his bed. And also I got a guide for. This is a dog toy for him.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I got my tablet to watch.
You have a lot of room in there. That's really neat.
And can you help me with that more sauce?
This one?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go back downstairs, okay?
This is his toy, okay?
All right. I love you.
Love you.
What you doing? What happened?
Pick me up.
What happened to your box fort?
Oh, I didn't whip it.
Oh, that's good. Well, what kind of fort is this? Suffocation fort.
It's a fish pond.
Oh, it's a fish pond?
Yeah, this is a fish. I'm trying to catch that.
I don't really like this fort. I think we should put this fort away.
No, we shouldn't.
Yes, we should. How about...
Can you zip me up in it?
No, no, sir.
Why?
Because I want you to live.
I don't want to live. I gotta zip me up.
No,
in
we're
it.
throwing it away now. Say bye-bye, plastic fort.
No.